Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a four-way for tonight. For Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament as we continue on with the group stages. On the left, we have DLP316 versus MidiGuyDP. On the right, drjayphd versus DaveLindo. It is two different groups, two different matchups. They will be running the exact same seed. I'm Leslie Pro, and joined tonight by King701. How you doing tonight?
Oh, it's a great Monday night. I hope you're doing just as well as I am out there.
Tonight's going well. Also hopes that I'm not working tomorrow, but, it's give and take life.
Indeed.
And we're just about to get underway here, and we are starting off with World 4, and this is Tournament Flags 2, so you're going to see pipes levels, forts, and their locks in randomized locations. Heck, you might even see a bridge. Ooh, forced to go to the right first. Eesh. Oh, thanks, game. As we see a Hammer Bro, 610, and 6-9. Now, there is a jump you can do at the start of 6-9 to skip the whole level. It is positioned perfect on a certain pixel, and you have a tight window to pull off a jump, but it can be done. I should know because I somehow found out that I can actually pull that jump off myself.
And DaveLindo just pulled that jump off.
Boss Bass. Boss Bass has claimed Dr. J.
DLP and MidiGuy just finished up with 6-9 about the same time, too.
6-9 is a level that doesn't get talked about much other than the fact that you can get a hammer suit here in the vanilla game, but it's a long path and not worth it. And our first fort is 5F1, and that star's pretty good because it'll allow you to get up to P-speed and run right through some thwomps without having to worry about getting thwomped.
Looks like 3 out of the 4 runners are all trying their luck against Boom Boom in that first fort, while Dr. J is trying to outsmart Boss Bass and finish up 6-10.
That was close! Holy smokes! Boss Bass just missed him by that much. And we're in the Navy. Shoutouts to the Village People and Wolfman 2000.
And the Navy claims DLP right off the bat.
Yep, that was a large cannonball to the foot. As Dr. J is now going through 6-9.
And DaveLindo is going through 6-10.
I mean, our runners will have to go this path, so 6-10 is going to be a pretty... That's not a pleasant surprise when you got a Boss Bass running around. Oh, and Dr. J gets caught by the Cheep.
DLP finishes up with the Navy. Theoretically, he should have everything he needs to complete the world.
Yep, and that pipe's definitely going to help because now he just skips 6-9, and he's just going to Starman through. Which for Fire Bros is a good strategy. Ooh, nice. Hammer.
And it's not bad to take a couple of Hammer Bros early because they can give you some really good items, like that hammer right there.
But without a power-up, Kingness is ducking into a Toad House. I can't blame him, because I would have done the exact same thing.
Looks like MidiGuy is now heading into the airship.
And it's the typical airship you would see here.
Now, even though the airships are randomized, the Koopa Kid you fight at the end is not. It's whatever the normal Koopa Kid for that world would be. So we're going to be facing off against Iggy Koopa here.
With fire.
Oh no, DaveLindo took a game over right at the start.
Ooh, you just hate to see that happen.
He's going to have to replay 6-9 also if he wants to get to the Navy. MidiGuy finishing up with his Iggy Koopa fight.
I do like what he's doing here by going this left strap first to see if he has to play the Navy, and he's doing some real nice jukes on boss. As DLP and MidiGuy are both out of the first world within seconds of each other. Meanwhile, Dr. J gotta be careful. Out of lives, has to make it through on this attempt. Finds the P-switch there. That's one you only really see outside of casual play in the all P-switches category, except in it. Oh, gross. We've got a 7F2 in World 1. Yeah. Nasty. And you can't cloud it.
Well, at least Piranha Fort was nice and gave him stars for the entire first half. DaveLindo now going into Iggy's fight. And lost the P-Wing, though.
Now, losing the P-Wing in the Koopaling fight isn't really that bad unless you're going for the screen wrap, which saves a few seconds if you get it. And now part 2, no power-ups, and you got a hot foot that is not behaving. Nasty. Meanwhile, MidiGuy gets through 7F2 and gets our first look at the card game and gets a match right away. How about that look?
Now, the thing about the end cards is he got a match, but it said 10 coins, but it could really be anything. We won't know until he decides to check his inventory.
Dr. J is through 5F1, and MidiGuy goes right into 5-3. This level can get pretty interesting with randomized enemies because, well, as a jumping Paragoomba takes him down, is that if you have Paragoombas, they'll fly right through the floor. So if you have a 5-3 with Paragoombas, you might want to consider taking them out to avoid having them drop in on you.
DaveLindo now fighting the Boom Boom of Piranha Fort.
And taking him down.
And if I remember correctly, this Fire Brother the Dr. J is fighting is going to have that hammer. Yup, sure does.
And that Fire Bro officially died by a fireball to the foot. So the Navy was not required.
Dr. J going to his World 4 airship, poising himself for a confrontation against Iggy.
Now, at this point, if you're Dr. J, do you consider, after clearing this world, just taking a game over to refill on lives?
Well, while we ponder that, let's ponder the hammer that DLP and MidiGuy both got from the World 1 Hammer Brother.
Nice. We're seeing a load of hammers already. And I like that front loaded, especially in these flags. Once we get to bracket flags, though, you're not going to want to see too many hammers because they won't break locks. So once you clear worlds 2, 3, 4, and 6, you're not going to want to see any hammers after that.
DLP and MidiGuy both finishing up the World 5 airship and Larry Koopa just about to move into the third world.
DLP and MidiGuy are within seconds of each other, and that is making this a heck of a matchup to watch so far. And they're also doing a double header, so after this, they're going to be going through Tourney Flags 1 immediately following this one after a short break. But the question for World 3 is, where's this pipe go?
Now this pipe is notorious in Tourney Flags 1 because there's a potential that it could lead you right to the end of the world and give you a free world, but not the case here.
3 ain't necessarily free, and flags 2, because you could find that it is free only to have a locked door or a bridge there. And if the bridge is there, you can't use the hammer. Oh no, 5-9. Mini guy's like, no thank you. So he's gonna go down the pipe, which does give DLP a 1-stage lead.
Potentially a 1-stage lead.
And we find 1-1. Now, this stage can be particularly nasty depending on the enemy set. Speaking of Volcano Lotus, oh boy, that can be pretty hairy.
Yeah, and Dr. J getting hung up in the second half of Piranha Fort.
Yeah, well, the good news is he's still going. So if he beats Boom Boom, he won't have to worry about playing this stage again, and he gets it done! DaveLindo, on the other hand, is making the 5-9 climb. Now, this is an interesting strategy here. Perhaps he didn't like where the pipe went and wants to check this part out?
Because the interesting thing is 90% of the auto-scrollers are gone, but 5-9, due to technical difficulties, we couldn't actually remove the auto-scrolling from it. Kind of breaks the game a little bit. So it makes it a slog to kind of get through.
Well, now we know where that second pipe goes through, and we got a coin ship, and with auto-scrollers turned off, you're not spending 60 seconds trying to get as many coins as you can, basically. As Dr. J is just taking his time through this 5-3, he is committed to playing this out.
Well, seeing as how World 1 is as short as it is, it might just be, you know, in his best interest to try to power through and get to World 3.
And we get the World 1 airship at the end of World 3, and DLP is our first runner there. Now, MidiGuy going back into the card game. We'll see what he gets for matches. He's already matched Flowers. He's about to match a Star.
DLP taking a very smart approach against Wendy. You don't want to run the risk of it being an Earthquaker. He just fireballed her down.
Yep, 10 fireballs to take Wendy out. Yeah, that 5-3 Angry Sun was probably a graphical glitch, if I had to guess.
And Dr. J now got another life doing his World 1 airship.
So the good news for Dr. J is that he is... yeah, it's okay to get just one life and keep going. Heck, I've done that myself.
Well, on the other side of this race, DaveLindo trying to make some decisions. He's got a hammer. He could break the lock to Wendy's airship, but deciding to go back and try some other avenues first.
We've already got DLP at the end of World 4. MidiGuy just took out Wendy, and fireballing by DLP was a very smart move, because that was 4 hits.
Wait, DLP's at the end of World 4 already, and I missed it?
That pipe must have been a free one.
I didn't even see what world it was.
It was the desert, but it was a very brief stay in the desert. Lindo's taking the underground route through 4F1. Don't always see this. Some runners will opt to go the... eesh, that hot foot was rude. As DLP is just full... ah, I see what it was. The pipe went right there. Hammer on the lock, and you got a free world. Here comes MidiGuy. Now, there is a clip you can do if you jump into that corner, where if you hit it, you save 4 seconds, but it's a bit risky, because if you go right for it while the flame jet's going and you miss, you're taking a hit for sure.
And the World 4 King being pretty savage in this one. Didn't want to deal with the Koopas himself.
Well, World 7, and we already know that one of the locks is not going to be required because it's literally on the first island and it's just blocking 2 stages.
So DLP now in the Piranha level. One of 4 levels that isn't randomized. The 2 Piranhas are going to be the same as you'd normally see them.
Well, first one gives a fire flower. That's pretty good.
Dr. J and DaveLindo are now playing the same level. They're both playing 1-1.
Nice play by Dr. J to fly up to grab the 1-up mushroom. Wow, that pipe went right to the end of World 7. This could be a jet seed.
Wow, yeah, that third island had all the pipes. Confrontation with Ludwig after the World 3 airship, I believe?
That's the World 2 airship.
2. Right.
Meanwhile, DaveLindo gets a 5-up, and we got our first. And it's one of the Quakers in the vanilla game. Ooh, 3-hit.
4.
5-hit thick Ludwig.
Oh, and DLP misses the P-Wing clip.
That's unfortunate. It's a risk-reward situation where if you get it, you save a few seconds. But if you miss it, you lose a few seconds because the wand bounces on the ground and the position you grab it, you're just a little bit higher. And Dr. J and DaveLindo are still chugging along in World 3, which has both World 4 forts in it, and the King is dropping an Arnold line, a classic one too, and we got World 5 is World 6, and this fort you have to play. It's the ground fort position, and it builds a bridge. It is 3F1, also known as the Fort of Many Doors, but you want number 6. Now, you can take door 3 to get through it, as, MidiGuy takes a death. You don't want to see that happen.
DaveLindo now on his way to fight Wendy after the World 1 airship is done. Oh no, this is 7-2 with Boss Bass!
Disgusting, that is. I think that, that was it. Yeah, that was an intentional death for a P-Wing. I can't blame him because if you have a tail in 17... that was just bad. That was bad timing, okay? That ain't my fault. But those no blocks you can fly over with a tail, even without P-Speed. Otherwise, the P-Speed strat for this stage is rather tough. And having Boss Bass there doesn't do you any favors whatsoever.
MidiGuy, now he's moving on to World 5. And DaveLindo moving on to World 4.
And Dr. J taking a death at the end of 3-4, excuse me. Which is 7-3.
Makes me wonder...
Vanilla you'd see a star there, and you could do a Starman run through part of the level if you hit the right blocks and with good timing. Not when random power-ups are a thing.
Makes me wonder why Dr. J's holding on to his extra hammer.
That's a very good question, as we have a clean end card by DLP. And there was a hammer in there, too.
And DaveLindo doing the free World 2, finishing up with Morton.
Dr. J is using a Starman at the start to simulate how this level plays vanilla. Which, in my own personal time, is one of my favorite levels, is to just do a Starman run through as many enemies, and in Super Mario Advance 4, the Starman actually changed to where you can get lives per enemy, just like Super Mario World onward.
And Dr. J makes it through 3-4. As DaveLindo is going through the pipe maze.
And MidiGuy gets our first cloud of the seed off one of the Hammer Bros. That could come in handy later, as DLP did not take them on. Oh, DaveLindo gets bit in the first Piranha stage. And on DLP side, we have 2-1, aka Mortar Motorway. Second time through is a success for DaveLindo, as Dr. J is climbing 7-1. Not something you typically see, unless he had to enter the level small. As we got a 6F3 for DLP.
And DaveLindo finds his way to the end of World 7.
Wait, I was mistaken, as Dr. J found an alternate path to 4F2. Not a path you typically see unless you're on a category extension, and that Fire Flower he just got, that's typically a Tanuki suit, but with those power-ups being randomized, whatever power-up pops up is still automatically that power-up anyway, as Dr. J just gives Boom Boom a dose of 5 fireballs. And we've got World 7's airship, and DLP made a very good choice on when to use the P-Wing.
DaveLindo's in his confrontation with Ludwig now.
And Ludwig is super thick.
Let's see if DaveLindo's successful with the clip.
He got it! And looks like Roy has got moon shoes on with that big jump.
Moon shoes can sometimes be a problem too, because the hitboxes are a little funky.
Yeah, the hitboxes act in such a way. I don't think DLP got the clip there. I think he's just a little too low. And our Bowser message is the classic Chumbawamba hit tub thumping, which ironically was their one hit. They were a one-hit wonder in the 90s. And that just leaves Iceland for our final world now. This is one that can get very interesting as DaveLindo gets trapped by the Thwomp.
And on DLP screen, we have one of the 8 beta stages in the game. They were levels that were originally designed for SMB3, but were not actually coded into the game. But they are present here to add a little bit of variety.
And there's some good variety to be had in these levels, except for the one auto-scroller that's in the mix. I mean, it's one that Fred couldn't get out either, just like 5-9, but it's even longer than 5-9. And here's the Desert Fort for DLP.
Does Dr. J not know that he can break locks with a hammer?
That'll be one to save for the interview, or he's just gonna run right through Super Tank and just not worry about it.
MidiGuy finished up with World 5, and he's about to move on to his World 6, where DaveLindo's having his epic confrontation with the boss Bass.
Setting up P-Speed strats now. This is not an easy P-Speed to set up, and he did, well, he took yeah, it's a, like I said, it's a tough strat. For that reason right there, you miss a jump and you're in the no block. And I actually did not know that about Chumbawamba, for real.
So the pipe network in World 6 not going to be very helpful here.
It's the first pipe network we've run into this seed that's proving to be of the unhelpful variety. I would say the one in World 4 was meh, kinda helpful, not really. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, but generally your early worlds, the pipe network isn't going to matter as much.
Although this might matter for DLP, a 7.5 with a Cheep Cheep. Now 7.5 is a long enough level to begin with, but when you throw in something like a Cheep Cheep or a Boss Bass,
or the angry sun.
Fair point, but the thing is with the Angry Sun is that you can actually take Angry Sun out one time and be done with it. You do not get that luxury with Boss Bass, or Cheep Cheep for that matter. And you can't enter the pipe while doing those flip jumps while you have a star unless you're at P speed, so you have to wait it out.
Dr. J finished up with World 2 and is now going to be going to his World 5.
Now here's the other long part of 7.5. You actually have to construct a hidden block bridge in the bottom section. And that Cheep Cheep is not in a nice position. Ooh, nicely done. I was just about to say that's a bad position, as here comes MidiGuy to 7.5. He's gonna take the death, and I'm betting he's gonna be using a cloud. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, because he picked up a cloud that nobody else has picked up yet.
Yeah, because everybody else went straight for the sky part of World 5. He decided to do some Hammer Bro cleanup, and that could work in his favor to catch up, as he's going to be less than a stage behind after the exchange. And we got ourselves the Army stage. Not a bad stage to run into, because you're guaranteed an item for clearing it.
And at this juncture, the two went in opposite directions. MidiGuy instead finding 6-1.
So there's a chance DLP could get an item that could give him the edge at the same time. It could be nothing. It could be a music box. We're about to find out.
It's a Tanuki suit.
Okay, okay, the timing of that Tanuki suit might be good, because if he uses it before this next fort, he's going to go into Fort Knox with it. And if that happens, well, either way, we got ourselves a race. But instead he goes in with the Fire Flower, which means he's going to be on the same pace. Now here's one power stage where the power-ups are not randomized, because you actually need the vanilla power-ups to be able to complete the level.
This level and 6.5 are both levels where that is the case. You need flight to beat both of them. So they can't take the flight out of that level.
Now, it's interesting you say that, because there is a setting in the randomizer to where you can make frog-friendly seeds. So if you wanted to do a frog suit % run, you could actually play a frog-friendly version of both levels and not have to fly.
I want to see this now that you've brought it up. Speaking of things we want to see, DaveLindo now moving into World 7 after his confrontation with Roy.
And 7-8, oof. This is a good thing they have the Tanuki suit, because this is a nasty stage. But on the plus side, they didn't see it right away at the start of the scene.
Both of them opting for the power-up, which is just a Fire Flower instead of the Hammer suit, which you usually get here.
Yeah, and interesting to note, NMG runs often take the Hammer suit from here and try to keep it to the end.
So this fortress that MIDI Guy has gone into is the World 1 fortress, which because of its design, you never have to actually beat in order to break a lock or build a bridge, because the logic's going to assume you're going to take the item if you have flight. And that's what we're going to see MIDI Guy try to do, is get that item.
Lives alert for Dr. J. He's out of lives, so he's got to be careful. One missed jump and it's a game over. Also has to watch out for those spiny eggs.
Oof.
Ooh, that was close.
Narrowly escapes the first Lakitu.
And he gets through now. Interesting to note, the item picked up was an anchor. This item serves as a wild card. We don't know what it is until it gets used.
But once
because in the vanilla game, it stops the airships, but since the airships don't come out, gave it a different use.
And even though it's a wild card, once we know what it is, that is the same thing, the entire seed. So if the anchor turns into a hammer suit, it's going to be a hammer suit for the whole seed. And we have a photo finish for the end of the World 7 airship between DLP and MIDI Guy. They're going to enter World 8 at the pretty much exact same time.
Ladies and gents, we got ourselves a race.
And all four of our runners have been going for about 30 minutes now, so you guys should drop them a follow. They're doing an awesome job.
It's a hand stage to start. MIDI Guy doesn't get grab, but DLP does. It's 4-2 to start World 8 with MIDI Guy in 1-2, and this 1-2 looks to be a little nasty with this enemy set. And a Boss Bass in 4-2 as well. Which, sadly, Boss Bass does not get along with the giant piranha plant, so that's why you're seeing glitchy graphics while Dr. J is in Air Force.
He's taken a very different routing to World 7 than all the other runners have thus far.
So the anchor's a Starman. I like this development.
And the interesting thing about World 8 here is it's not just a matter of finding the path to Bowser. You actually have to find a fort to build a bridge, at the bare minimum.
So that's where things are gonna get it. Well, we know that route's useless. And it looks like we've got everything on one screen, basically. So we could have a situation where we have to clear out what would be the hand bridge in the vanilla game. Or is this it? No, this could be it right here. 6F2. And he's going for 6F2 fly. Now, this is a bit particularly dicey route because of how tight the movement has to be. And those roto-discs moving in a different way stop DLP from doing the full fly. But the partial fly, again, movement's very tight because if you have a little hiccup at the first part of the fly, you better bail out or else you take a death just like DLP did to Boom Boom.
He is going to go back in, though, now equipped with a Fire Flower and a Star. Let's see if MIDI Guy can get his way through the maze.
They're both in the same level. If this opens up the bridge, we could have a photo finish, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am sitting at the edge of my chair. But if it's not the right path, then we get to go and play a game of hide and seek in order to figure out where to actually go.
Yeah, and then it would be right to the hand bridge, and we've got DaveLindo doing 7-5 frog strats, and it's not the correct level. Get down here, Boom Boom. Okay, that almost got away from him. That was a little dicey.
DaveLindo contending now with the Cheap Cheap in 7.5.
Which, to be fair, is extremely cheap. I'd call it a super cheap, but that'd just be too easy. And we've got World 8's fort. Now, a lot of folks really don't like this fort due to its length, because it takes about a minute even for speedrunners. But there's still some cool stuff to be had here, like you're moving on conveyor belts, jumping over lava pits, and you got a chance at pulling off a one cycle with this P-switch, which looks really cool when you hit it.
And our two runners in World 8 have again switched paths at the juncture. MidiGuy opting to play the Water Fortress instead of the Magical Door Fortress. Again, we don't know which fortress will build the bridge, so it's a matter of guess and check.
Well, we got 5F2. The first one MidiGuy cleared was definitely not it.
DaveLindo escapes the Cheap Cheap's wrath on the other side. Dr. J now contending with his Boss Bass.
It's very easy to forget which pipe goes where in World 8, especially with a number of the pipes moved. And that was it! DLP has found the right path! It was World 8 fort all along. He's in Bowser's Castle, and he's in prime position to take Game 1 of this doubleheader. Gets the everyman clip first try.
And here we go. DLP's against Bowser.
And that quickly, Bowser is down as MidiGuy finishes World 8 fort. He completed the right fort, but it's not enough to take the win in Game 1. Is taking Game 1 of their doubleheader is DLP316 with an official SRL time of 36 minutes, 38 seconds, and not so fast MidiGuy in Bowser's Castle as well.
Get those GGs out there in chat, guys. They did an awesome job.
That was one heck of a race that literally came down to routing World 8. It was left versus right on the hand bridge, and left was the correct option. The odds would not have dictated that, but this time, it happened. It's our own version of sabermetrics as DaveLindo falls victim to a Piranha Lotus.
And the pipe network doesn't help him out. He's gonna have to try that level again.
MidiGuy is facing Bowser the way you typically would. Now, it's 5 stomps, and literally the hitbox for Bowser is like his ego. It's in his head. And down goes Bowser for MidiGuyDP. Get your GGs and chats. He's going to finish second in his race, as well as second in the four-way, with a very impressive time and a heck of a race between both him and DL, with an official SRL time of 38 minutes, 32 seconds. What a race between these two.
Now, just to give everyone the reminder, even though you're for screens, it is 2 separate races, so it's Dr. J and DaveLindo are still vying in their own specific race.
As Dave's in now in World 1's fort, Dr. J is clearing out 6F3.
Dave deciding not to go for the item.
We're joined by the Race 1 winner, DLP316 GG. That was a heck of a race.
Hey, how's it going?
Going pretty well. Congratulations on one heck of a win. You guys were neck and neck the entire way. What decided it was that you went left and cleared World 8's fort first, and that turned out to be the correct path, because MidiGuy went for the other 2 forts.
I figured. I don't know. I just the way that the level was laid out and everything, I just figured one of those is going to break that lock. I've got 2 hammers. I might as well just do it. It seems to be my luck that the last fort is always the one that builds the bridge, so I just decided to go for it. And I thought I was probably a little bit behind just because I had a couple of dumb deaths, especially one on that fort at the end. So I just decided to go for it and see how it worked out, and it seems to have paid off, so happy with it.
Absolutely, it worked out brilliantly. Now, coming up, once we're done with the 4-way, you still have one more race tonight under Tourney Bracket Flags 1. Hopefully, well, thought here is we are joined by MidiGuyDP GG. That was a heck of a race.
Hey. Dang, I can't wait to rewatch this one.
Yes. It's a good one, because it came down to the very end. Because he made the play for World 8 fort right away. You went to the right to clear the other 2 forts, and it was World 8 fort that turned out to be the correct path.
Yes, World 8 became what pretty much decided the whole thing, and to think I had a bunch of hammers.
Yeah,
what a race that was.
Yeah,
this seed had a lot of hammers, and at the end of it, it turned out to be a case of just not having enough places to use them towards the end.
Exactly. Yeah. First 4 or 5 worlds were pretty generous. They flew by pretty quickly, and then World 6, you just had to play pretty much everything. So, yeah, it was a good seed, though. I liked it.
Yeah, it was a fun one to watch and call as well.
Yep. GG, MidiGuy. I think most of the people in our group have very similar set of skills, so it's like every race it seems like that I'm in, it's a close one, and it's pretty much 50-50 whoever's going to win, so GG.
Yeah, that's the most exciting part about any race, really.
Yeah.
I was really chancing it when just using those hammers. Should I say this just in case? Actually, no, I'm just going to use this and go.
Yeah.
They just kept gift wrapping more hammers to us, so man.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Just couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
That was a fun seed.
Yep, looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, likewise.
Absolutely.
Probably give our brains a small break on the next seed. This is the one where we had to think much harder.
Yeah. Flag set 1 seems to be way longer whenever I play it. I never seem to get much luck, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to take a short break here until that happens, but thanks, guys.
Alright, GG to both of you. Looking forward to the next one, which will be in a few minutes following the conclusion of this, as DaveLindo is in World 8. Finds 6-6 at the Army level. That's not a level you really want to be playing to begin with. When you don't have to, don't bother with it. That's what I say. As World 7, Dr. J unfortunately took a death on the spikes in the desert fort.
Hey, me too. I think I'm gonna head off as well for now there, and I'm gonna start prepping for the next race, and we'll be catching you on the next one.
Absolutely, GG.
Keep
Looking
running.
forward to it.
Catch you later.
Now, one thing to note here is that DaveLindo is fresh out of Hammer, so he actually has to find the lock to unlock the Air Force stage in order to build that bridge.
So that's a wrinkle. We saw MidiGuy and DLP have hammers at the end because there were a lot of hammers and not enough places to use them, as DaveLindo ran out of them.
And I also don't remember seeing DaveLindo play as many end cards as DLP and MidiGuy did, which is where a lot of the hammers lived, was the end cards.
Yep, so that's definitely where they were. That wasn't the lock, so it's this one, I believe.
Yep, the Lava
Yep.
Fortress. Well, Dr. J's doing a good job of faking out that cheap in 7-5.
That's the way to do it. Leave the cheap on the level that you're not on. Makes things a little more manageable.
Well, this should break the lock to play the Air Force stage, which we know is World 8 Fortress.
And now we know the intended path was to basically play every single fort in World 8. At least that's what the game wanted you to do. And Dr. J finishes off leaving the cheap behind in 7-5. Nicely done.
He's about halfway through World 6 at this point.
As Dave just gave us the upside down orb.
Now let's see if DaveLindo can avoid getting lost and find his way back to Bowser.
Yeah, World 8 routing can be interesting, especially in bracket tourney flags too.
It's not uncommon to see racers sit around for 2, 3, 4 minutes just trying to figure out where they're going. Well, DaveLindo is successfully into Bowser's castle with his hammer suit in tow.
And Dr. J with the one frame movement to dodge the hammer, bro. You can do that with the piranha plants in World 7, but it also works in other worlds as well.
And DaveLindo's now on to Bowser.
And just like that, Bowser's down.
Let's get those GGs in chat, y'all.
DaveLindo has finished third in the four-way, and with the win in his race with an official SRL time of 48 minutes and 55 seconds. Dr. J is in 7-8. Ooh, that's a good use of the statue technique. However, being in... That was dicey. Nicely done.
Oh, and he loses that Tanuki suit. Rough day.
Not taking the power up. Oh, but lands right on the Venus fire trap. Now, one thing we did not see a lot of in this seed, clouds. We only saw the one in World 5, and that was basically it.
Yeah, that was what let MidiGuy skip. I believe it was 6-9 he skipped with it.
It was either that or 7-5, one of those two gross levels. He didn't go down the pipe again. I'm starting to think if Dr. J knows about that pipe or not.
The other thought is, he might think he's playing from behind and trying to get that power up he might not think he needs. Might be more of a time sink.
Well, that's also possible.
Because theoretically, he knows he hasn't won. And instead of going for the fort, he finds himself in 4-4.
Which is a good stage to find yourself in. Pretty decently easy swimming stage.
Especially late in the game. It's pretty quick.
As Dr. J is rounding the corners for the final Koopaling.
He'll find himself in World 8 momentarily.
Well, now we know where... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, now we know where 7-1 was. Well, the hand stage grab, Dr. J, it's just 1-2.
I didn't get a good look at his inventory. Does he have any hammers?
I'm pretty sure he does. Question mark?
Checking out the super tanks, which we know is not going to build the bridge, but who knows what it does unlock.
As Dr. J going right up to the Ice Boom Boom's level. Doesn't keep it though, so
Oof.
second hit was gonna be dicey to begin with. Unfortunately, does not get the good hitbox.
Trying again for good measure, though.
Now, because he got hit there, unfortunately, that Fire Flower only gives him the effects of a Super Mushroom.
I think it was Super Mario World where that changed, where you actually get the power-up you see.
Yes, it was, and it looks like Dr. J jumped on Boom Boom a frame too early. If that happens, it counts as you taking a hit.
Well, he's got his Fire Flower. Hopefully he can keep it until he hits Boom... Oh, spoke too soon.
Yep, happens to all of us. And down the pit he goes. That's unfortunate.
He is being persistent, though. I think he is bound and determined to beat this fort.
And you can hit ooze with fireballs until the cows... Oh!
Oh.
He tried jumping and fell straight down. Oh boy.
He's just having all the worst luck with this race tonight.
There we go.
Made it back to Boom Boom. Here's to hoping he can round it out and call a day to this fortress.
He got him. And he finds himself in 6-6.
Very possible he'll take a death here and just get back to the world map.
I believe that's what he's gonna go for. Except a Starman has other ideas. No, he's gonna play it out.
Interesting.
This level can be pretty nasty with the enemy set, because if there's a nanny blooper, and you're gonna get a lot of lag. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. We're talking about epic slowdown like Rush Hour Track.
Well, he made it through.
And it's all pipes on the left side of the Dark World.
Hopefully he can find his way through the maze and get to the Air Force where he needs to go.
He's not breaking the locks, so he either doesn't have a hammer, or
he
it's
doesn't know
something-
that he can.
It's certainly something worth asking about.
And now he's playing the Lava Fortress.
There is an interesting note about this stage that I didn't quite touch on earlier, is that in this, while you see fireballs coming from the ceiling, that lava up there doesn't have a hitbox, it can't hurt you. Now, in the All-Stars version, that's lava on the ceiling. That will hurt.
Programmers probably didn't think anyone would actually get up there in the first place.
And it is actually possible to get up there. Okay, one more fort is World 8 Fort.
And all he has to do after beating this is just remember what the right path is, and he's pretty well home free.
That jump can be daunting if you're not used to it. It is one you have to take, though, but it's certainly... Ooh, nice slide under the boom. But the hot foot decides that it's gonna be... Looks like he was looking for a fire flower, but he's gonna get a Starman anyway. The problem here is that he's not gonna get to Boom Boom in time.
Just barely not enough time. So at this point, we know that all he has to do is just make it to Bowser and clear it, and he's got this.
Yep, and he'll have crossed the finish line. I think he's on the right path, and
Yep.
yes, he is. He's going straight in, not even opening the inventory. Now, all the Roto discs can have their direction randomized as part of the Randomizer feature of this random flag set. They are moving in their vanilla intended direction.
Struggled to get the clip, so we just went down the staircase.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to bite the time loss and just keep it moving.
Yup.
Takes the lower path. You don't see this very often. Oh, he slips off the block and into the lava. That's unfortunate. Oh, yeah, he had hammers in there. He just never used them.
Makes it to the top path this time, though. Now, I wonder if he knows about Bowser's hitbox.
Guessing not by that move. Now, I will say this. If you ever got friends over and you have SMB3, a really cool trick to pull out on them to basically do something mind-blowing would be to just show them that Bowser's hitbox is literally in his head. Now, Super Mario Advance 4 did correct that, so you would have to move out of the way in that game. And down goes Bowser!
Alright, let's get some GG's in chat for Dr. J. He had a great race. And Dr. J finishes up this race. Second place in his race, fourth place overall with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 48 seconds.
That was a very solid performance by Dr. J. And we're going to be able to get him in for an interview. And we've got Dr. J joining us in the commentary booth. GG, Dr. J.
Thank you. Hardest boss in the game, the one gap in the Ice Palace.
Yeah, that was a struggle, but you got through it. It was awesome.
Yeah, and then it turns out didn't actually need it. But yeah, I'm finally starting to actually see the results of playing this game. Because I just did not practice at all coming into this tournament.
Yeah, because one thing we were wondering about is why you weren't using hammers, because those can also have a use for breaking not just rocks. The locks that are in the way can also go bye-bye with a hammer. Too bad they don't build bridges, though.
Nope. And the funny is because I used hammers in first race against Dave, and blew through, I forget which world it was, that was World 2, blew through that in like 4 minutes. I only had to play one stage before, I think I was probably saving him for later, and then later it didn't happen.
Now, unfortunately, we won't be able to get Dave in for an interview this time. That's okay, GG, Dave. That was a very good race. Both of you had a heck of a performance.
It was very entertaining to watch.
That's all I can ask for, is at least be entertaining, if nothing else.
I hear you there. So, now with this race out of the way, Dr. J, you have 2 races left to schedule. Who was that against in your group, out of curiosity?
I gotta double check that. Let me see. I want to say, yeah, because I already played Pro, played Dave. I think I played Charlie Boy already. So, it's not original.
Yeah, looking at challenge, that would be what I think is left against Dodge Master Dooley. Be looking forward to that one, that's for sure.
Yeah. Especially now that I've seen what happens when I get some momentum in races like this.
Oh, give it time. Because with time, momentum does come.
Exactly.
So, with that, Kingness, any further questions for Dr. J?
I think you did a really great job, and I'm looking forward to that next set of races that you're going to get scheduled.
So am I.
Same here, GG. And with that, Kingness, final thoughts on the first set of races that we had.
You know, the left-hand race was just a matter of one little locking castle being the difference between everything, and that's what we can expect out of the rest of the tournament, I think.
Absolutely. And the best part of these races is they're never over until they're over. And that's what I love about the randomizer communities.
And chat, you guys should go ahead and give all 4 of our racers a follow. They did an awesome job tonight. Oh, and go ahead and give Leslie a follow too. He's pretty awesome.
Also, feel free to give my co-com Kingness702 a follow as well, as he did an awesome job to boot.
Don't follow me, I don't stream.
Oh, well, there was a time where I didn't stream, but, well, that's changed. Anyway, now that we have a break in between, we're gonna go to a quick intermission, and when we get back, we'll get going with the other race. See you guys in a bit.
See ya.